Hi, everybody. Welcome back once again to the Real Writers of the OC, where we interview writers from all over Orange County. If you're a reader or a writer, or you just want to hear about some interesting thoughts and ideas, keep it here. This program is just like the Housewives with less hair and makeup teams. All right, today I am so excited to have our guest. She has pieces in The Truth That Can't Be Told, my trusty rusty book that you can get on Amazon. She also has a short story book called Black Women with Tamales, and she is writing her very first novel all about Graceland. Yes, like in Elvis Graceland. All right, let's welcome Lorraine Gow. Hi, Lorraine, how are you?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Good, thank you so much for being here. Let's start first with your pieces in The Truth That Can't Be Told. I know you're part of this anthology. The first piece that I want to talk about is Two Mexican Coffees. This is very fascinating to me. I'm not going to give too much away, but
Okay.
it is definitely about a sister relationship, and maybe not a great one, or a complicated one at best. And as an only child, I am always so fascinated by sibling relationships. So just tell me a little bit about where you got the idea for the piece and the genesis of it.
Okay. Thank you much. Thank you much. All right. So I thought about, I love Mexican coffee, and my grandmother used to make it for me. And she would have her own ways and different things. And I'm sure Starbucks and everybody else has their own little ways of doing things. And then I started thinking, well, this could be a coping mechanism, trying to have a Mexican coffee. And so why am I going to cope with Mexican coffee? How about death? Okay. And so the two sisters in this story, one of them is dead. Hint, hint. And the coffee is the way that she copes with it, and everything else involved in the coffee, whether it's making the coffee, the things that go along with having a coffee. And so that's how it all came about.
Yes. Now, spoiler alert, she's dead. But another thing I want to ask you, everything that goes around with the coffee, these kinds of cookies are sort of part of all of that as well. And did you invent? I mean, I grew up in Minnesota. I know nothing. Did you invent that, or is that
Those are for real.
Those are real?
Those are real. And here in La La Land, you can get them depending on the time of year. They're really big in Day of the Dead celebrations, which happens around end of October, first week in November. You can find them, and they're usually like ginger bread cookies, and they're delicious. And as a child, my uncle, I had an uncle that would make them, and they were delicious. And I remember those, just delicious things to eat.
And is the symbolism behind them to evoke memories or loss? Is that why that's why you can
Yes.
find on the Day of the Dead?
Oh, yes.
To provoke lost memories or memories of loved ones?
Memories of loved one, because the Day of the Dead is that you celebrate those that have gone before and their memories, and you bring out the good things that they have or would have enjoyed, whether that's the music that you listen to, whether it's the food they would eat, and all sorts of goodies the Day of the Dead. And those cookies are one of the goodies.
I love that. And so much beautiful symbolism in that story. It was just a lovely story. I'll move on to The Sixpenny Dancer, which is a short story, and very interesting around dancing. So tell me about the genesis of that story.
A fat girl wants to be a ballerina and can't become a ballerina. And why she can't become a ballerina? Because her ankles are too fat and she can't get into the clothes. And you have the friend of the father that comes over and they're watching baseball and they're having a good time. but I want to dance. I want to be a ballerina. And no one pays attention to her, but she can sell at a baseball game.
I just
She's
love the way that story ends. It's such a surprising little end. How cool. Um, so tell me more about Black Women with Tamales. And it's a bunch of short stories that you wrote and put together. So tell me about the genesis of that and what we can look forward to when we're reading it.
I'm an immigrant from Honduras. And as an immigrant, going to school in the United States, relatives coming legally and illegally across that wonderful border. And so these are stories and about the women, whether they come with children, without children, married, all sorts of relationships that develop at that border that they have to cross over. And so I wrote 8 stories about that. And they touch my heart because, I mean, it goes on and it continues on. And as far as people coming across, I am a citizen and got my papers. And I just wanted to have those stories out there so people can understand exactly that crossing the border, it's much more than just, I'm coming here to work to make money to send back home. There's much more involved.
Oh, what beautiful. I can't wait to read it. So first of all, speaking of something, the real writers of the OC, something that's so apropos to California, as we are so close to the border. And I just love to hear these stories because this is what America is. This is what America always has been, we are a land of immigrants, and we need to celebrate that because we all immigrate. Not everybody, not we all, but it's the country of immigrants, and that's the whole.
Yes.
How cool. What a great story. So now this first novel that you're working on about Graceland, yes, Elvis. Is it about Elvis?
Not really, but he's in there. His house is in there, and he is maybe helps get things going. Let's put it that way.
What brought you to the subject of Graceland? Are you a fan?
Heck no, but never met an Elvis song I didn't like. Okay. So I could remember when I was here as a little girl, and my grandmother came, and then she would listen to the radio and hear, because at that time, that's the 60s. And, she loved Elvis Presley. My aunt, my mother, more aunts, cousins, they just love Elvis Presley, especially when he did the religious songs and the gospels. And then, Elvis and his whole dealing with Black America, and then, so why are you enjoying Elvis, and it's like, well, we like his song. And my folks really enjoyed Elvis.
Well, and I was saying earlier, I've been in Memphis, and it's such a fascinating place because there's a lot of mixing cultures and mixing socioeconomic levels there, and it's just a fascinating city, and it creates beautiful music. It's just a town full of music,
Yes. Well, music is involved in some of the story, but not as far as creating and singing, but music is involved.
Is a color. Involved.
Yes.
Lorraine, tell me, how did you first start writing? What draws you to write?
I guess I've always done that. I'm a quiet person, and as a quiet child, I found that as a way of expressing myself in writing poetry, in writing stories, reading, so that it was a way of me dealing, and especially when you're thrown into a new country and it's like, oh, you're gonna learn how to deal with things. I wrote.
What a great message for everybody, because especially in this last, year, some people are in topsy-turvy places, and
Oh,
you know,
yes.
yeah, and what a positive outlet to read and imagine and express yourself in writing, and it's just such a wonderful thing. What is your process? I know I'm always so fascinated as a artist myself about everybody's creative process. So what is your process in writing and the genesis of ideas, and how does it all happen for you?
For me, I usually sit down my kitchen table and with my keyboard, and I think a lot of the experiences that I had continue to have, and I will pick little parts from each one of those things that I am experiencing and begin to write something around them. There's a story in Black Women with Tamales that has to do with a family wanting to make tamales for Christmas, and they don't have enough money to do that. And they go through looking for the banana leaves because they can afford to buy this and that, but where are they going to find banana leaves in Southern California? Well, there are banana leaves all over Southern California, look, but in certain neighborhoods. And so, and the story is told from the point of view of children. And I love that story in that I remember this one time, and believe it or not, and it is true, we opened our front door to an apartment complex where we're living, and there was a $50 bill there. And I was like, what's this $50 bill? And it was heading for Christmas. And I'd be like, nah. And my mother goes, no, you guys didn't see that. She opened the door and there was another one. That was our Christmas miracle. And so it's in our my stories.
Well, I
And
see that in your work, and in Two Mexican Coffees too. It's like there is a little thread of magic, a little, not magic like wizard magic, but like that kind, like organic magic that I think is a
mhm,
thread through your work.
mhm, mhm. And I believe in it. And
Mm.
I put it in everything I write.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that touches my little baby heart. Thank you, Lorraine. We're going to end there. What a beautiful, beautiful message, Tana. Let's all believe in a little bit of magic today and moving forward. Lorraine, you can get The Truth That Can't Be Told with Lorraine's stories in it on Amazon and all sorts of Kindles. You can get, and I'm getting mine today, Black Women with Tamales. I know you have a copy there on Amazon as well. Look at that beautiful, beautiful cover. And everybody watch out for her first novel about Graceland. Lorraine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we will see you all next time. Thanks so much. Bye.